Live from Studio 3. It's Packaging Today with your host, Cory Connors, Adam Peak, and on assignment, Evelio Matos.
Mr. Matos. Good morning, everyone. And Adam, that was very well done. I'm so proud of you.
I'm basically Roselle.
You we don't know how to do the entry thing. Evelio normally does all that stuff. So we are just happy to be here and excited to talk about packaging today.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. If you're listening or if you're watching live, we appreciate it.
Yeah. And if you're watching live, the most fun, like Cory and I will talk about packaging by ourselves. And we do often, not recorded, not live. And so what's really fun about this every Monday is that you do get an opportunity to jump in, comment, and share some of your lovely, wonderful wisdom with us. So please do so. Do not be shy about the commenting.
Yeah. Tell us where you're from. Tell us if you have questions, if you have insights into packaging that we're not aware of. This industry is very humbling. I still learn something every single day, and it's exciting. So you have to be open to that. Yeah. But I think we wanted to. Oh, we got Hugh already. Starting off. Thanks, Hugh. Good morning, sir.
Hey, Hugh. By the by, I was having a conversation with somebody who is. Are you? I believe you moved to Greensboro. Do I have that correct? And if so, I will text you and put you in contact with somebody who is considering making a potential move to the Greensboro area. So I know you're there, and Andy Kurtz is there, and that's the extent of what I know.
That's your friend base there.
That's my friend base. All right, we've got. Hey, what's up, Gene?
Hi, Gene.
And LinkedIn user.
Yeah, welcome. Oh, this is exciting to have a first timer. Welcome, LinkedIn user. I don't know why the LinkedIn system doesn't allow certain people to show who they are. I think it's a setting in your file or whatever. But welcome, whoever you are, sir or ma'am. We appreciate you.
Let's see. We got. Yeah, I got you, Hugh. I'll hit you up. On the text message. I'll send you a. What's it called? Remember the collect call? We add a baby eats a boy. I'll collect call you. What's up, Mark?
Hey, Mark.
Thanks for. We have like a weird snow thing happen here in Utah. Not like it's weird that it snows in Utah, but we woke up and our kids got a delayed start. I was like, that was unexpected.
Mr. Mancini, good morning from the great state of New York.
Okay, so here's what I've learned about New York is from like a very specific part of New York City, everything is upstate. Everything. Like it could be like 2 miles away. It's like, that's upstate.
That's upstate.
It seems like there's like this tiny little part of New York and then there's upstate New York. I'm like, maybe that tiny little part is just downstate. Maybe everything else is New York. I don't know. Could be
amazing.
I'm excited for everyone to be here, and Cory, we got a few things to discuss today.
Yeah, I'm really, really, really very, very excited about the Sustainable Packaging Coalition, and I think Adam and I both have announcements for our companies that we're joining that great organization, and we recommend you do the same. Mr. Paul Nowak is a friend of ours. We got to be involved with his speech at the SpecRite Summit. That was very much fun, and we appreciated that opportunity. Thank you again, Paul, if you're watching or listening, or if somebody from the SPC, the Sustainable Packaging Coalition, is listening. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you do. We appreciate the opportunities to join your organization and to be a part of the future of sustainable packaging.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Myers, I just got a note today that we have officially joined the SPC. Michael Dillon sent me a note on Teams that I've not replied to. So Michael, this is my public response saying like, I got your note, and I'm super excited. And by the way, like, so people know, we're not like paid by the SPC. Like, we're just genuinely excited about
Right.
a coalition of people, and it's not perfect, and I think Paul would be one of the first people to say that, right? It's not
Yeah.
perfect, but the aim and the goals are admirable, and it's exciting to get companies coming together that have a common goal and a common aim. And I think it's, I'm pretty sure I've said this before on this show, but if I haven't, I've certainly said it to Cory and Evelio, right? Like, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And
Yeah.
we have long, far battles to fight in our industry. We need people to be coming together.
One of the main reasons I pushed for Aurora Packaging to join the SPC was because of the collaborations, and they call them collabs, and they call them, there is a group of people that join together to discuss a specific topic, and these people are brilliant and leading industry experts, and things like the How to Recycle label came out of that kind of a group. People complained a couple years ago at an SPC event that we don't know how to recycle things. It doesn't make sense to us. How do we communicate that to our end users? And they formed a group. And remember, this is a nonprofit organization. They formed a group inside, and they came up with these labels, and they came up with a system of how to get approved. And the How to Recycle label has become, not everybody
Ubiquitous.
thinks it's the way to do it, but I do.
Yeah, it's super helpful for sure. And by the way, I want to correct something. You said that they call them collabs, collaborations.
Yeah.
Plenty of other people in organization would call them also collabs. That's not
Yeah.
just limited to the SBZ.
I didn't mean to imply that it was
No,
limited to that.
I know you did. I thought it's funny. You're like, collaborations, they call them collabs, and I'm like,
Mhm,
yep,
mhm.
that's
Yeah,
a whole
that's
bunch, of other folks. But
they
I
came up
totally
with that.
agree. There's so much disparate information, and there'll continue to be. It's not like the SPC is going to solve all of that, but
No.
it is good to see and know that there is an organization that continues to
Yeah.
collab
Right.
and move
Yeah.
move the industry forward, I think, in a really healthy way. And I know they've got events. Cory, you're going to the one in, is it April?
Yes, April 24th in through the 27th in Austin, Texas. I believe it's very nearly sold out. So if you're a member or interested in joining, sign up right away.
Got it. Well, we got some other people who jumped in here, it looks like. Yep, we got
Maria,
Marilyn.
good morning.
Who else we got, Cory?
Friend Brandon Gomez,
Hey, Brandon.
how's
Brandon,
it
I think
going, eh?
started a new job recently, so shout
Yeah,
out to Brandon.
congratulations on your new position. I believe it's in the label industry still.
Yeah.
So well done.
Um, let's see here. Yep,
That's a
totally
good
right,
point,
Hugh.
Hugh. The How to Recycle label will identify all the materials in a package. So we'll talk about the can and the topper and the shrink sleeve, and it will speak to what you should do with all of those materials, which is really
And
important
the
and
thing I think
critical.
that is interesting, and we have our friend Mikey at the Scrap app,
Hmm.
is the culmination between the two, which is How to Recycle is still more broad,
Yeah.
whereas what Scrap is aiming to do is take that concept and make it more localized, right? So,
Hmm.
like, for example, I posted a video with my dog, by the way, shameless promotion with my dog, um,
You're promoting your
about
dog now?
what's that?
You're promoting your dog now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I
Oh.
have to start. My dog is adorable, and I need to make money off of my
Mhm.
dog because it costs me money, right? But no, it was a body armor container, and it just says, number one, please recycle. And I
Mhm.
thought, like, your body armor, like, you're a big enough organization that you can actually make this more clear.
Yeah.
Because candidly, I don't know, and I'm pretty, like, I own shirts that say packaging on them, right? Like, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know what type of shrink sleeve material this is. Now I took the shrink sleeve off and then I recycled because I knew that I could recycle the bottle, but how many people know to actually do that? And by the way,
Right.
there's no zipper in the shrink sleeve. It was really hard to take off. So I just don't know. and that's the point. That's where I think we're going to keep building up to is, you know, creating some more clarity around what should and shouldn't happen.
Yeah, very well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
enjoyed that video. The TikToks and the LinkedIn videos that we're making are getting a lot of attention, because a lot of people agree that, hey, this is frustrating. This is a problem. Why don't we do it like this? It wouldn't cost anything extra to add a zipper to that. We've talked about this many times.
many times, many
Easy to
times.
add in the process, and frankly, I feel like the companies that add shrink sleeves to bottles and cans should be required to do that. I think it's such a simple step. Come on. So if you're listening and you work for a shrink sleeve company, uh, or you use shrink sleeves for your brand, tell the company that you purchase from that you want them to be easily removed,
Make
and
it
then
easy.
add it to the artwork of the pair of scissors with the dashed lines to make it obvious.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Um, let's see what do we got here
What's
from
John
John.
saying? John
So
from
John
Chicago.
says,
You
John
gonna read
says,
it? Okay.
yeah, I'll read it in case someone's listening to this on
Yeah.
the podcast, right? So hi, John from Chicago. What do you think about CPG like Mentos gum, including the sustainability of their packaging and their TV commercials? Do you think this would be a trend in CPG advertising? I think it's great.
Yes.
Um, you know, nothing will move the needle in America like free markets.
Hmm.
And as you know, you can lament it, you can say whatever you want to, but there is a demand for sustainability by people who spend money. And so I think that's a tremendous pressure. Cory, what are your thoughts?
Yes, absolutely, 100% agree. I've spoke about this a couple times at different events. Sustainability and packaging and social media are becoming intertwined because consumers are making decisions based on the sustainability of the packaging that they're buying. And so it's absolutely a selling feature now, which is kind of a cool thing that I think we need to utilize and use it to help sell your product because you've made the efforts and you're taking the risks to be more sustainable. Maybe that costs you a little bit more money, but you can tell your consumer, look, we made this packaging easier to recycle. We made it reusable. We made it more. We used less material. Whatever the case may be, I think that's a critical point moving forward.
You want
And
to
hey, our friend Megan. Hey, how
hey,
are you?
what's up, Megan?
Good morning.
Love
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
well said.
Hey, pull up Jared's comment here about EPR, because I think that's another point of positive pressure, right? Which
Yep,
is so you have the consumer pressure
yep,
that is totally imperfect
right.
because certain companies are going to be targeting certain types of people,
Hmm.
and they're not always going to feel that same kind of pressure, right? Like
Right.
it would be silly to say that every single brand is feeling pressure from sustainability. But like we all feel pressure to make sure our income taxes are appropriate
Right.
because of government pressure, right? Because it's like, hey, if you don't do this, then this is the consequence, right? So you have higher fees, you have taxes, tax implications. That sort of pressure, whether you like it or not, can drive proper proper types of actions when it comes to sustainability. So
Right.
totally agree. And to be candid, I don't know, Cory, do you remember Kevin Davis's talk at the Spectrite Summit where he
Yes.
talked about how they're feeling that in over in the EU currently,
Hmm.
and how that's where that like the need for that sort of data and access to that data to be able to report accurately what they're actually doing with
Right.
their packaging became so critical and so huge. So it does create other problems for companies to solve, whereas right now they might not have to know all the data about their packaging other than just how to order it and stuff like the inventory.
Right.
But once you get into that and once you have to start reporting that, that data becomes even more critical. So,
Right.
um,
Really important point. And SpecRite is going to be a great partner for people looking to report their extended producer responsibility performance and scope one, scope two, scope three. All of that's going to come into fruition here soon. And our advice to you, if you're listening, or if you're a packaging consultant like us, that you need to be talking to your customers today
Mhm.
and saying, are you ready for this? Are you ready to be able to report your data to the government? Are you ready to explain to your consumers what your post-consumer recycled material levels are? Things like this are going to be mandatory, and Adam's right. Might as well get in front of it today and start putting all of that into your system. Like Kevin's example, it took him, what did he say, an hour instead of 3 weeks?
Yeah, he
Uh,
said there were 3 packaging engineers. It was 3 packaging engineers that took 1 week of time to gather up all the data from all their various, suppliers and people like that, and then, once they had it all in spec right, and they had kind of a single source of truth for their data, it took, like, 30 minutes or an hour to pull the report and send it away. With confirmed accuracy rather than
right.
human problems. So yeah, I mean, we're seeing that now from the supplier side. We're getting a lot more questions for
Yeah.
companies who are selling not just here in the U.S. but also overseas, and um, it's like it or not. I mean,
Yeah.
you can rail against the sun, right? But it is coming,
Yeah. And it's
and
here to stay.
yep.
It's not going to go away. It's not going to be a trial. A lot of the things that are happening in like you mentioned, Europe, are going to be primers for what's happening in the future for us here. So we need to pay attention to that. And I'm interviewing Paul Folks again
Oh, cool.
in a couple weeks about what's happening today, and because all of these laws are coming to fruition, and it's a big deal over there. Companies are scrambling to perform, and they'll be. And he actually predicted this a few months ago. He said there'll be companies that go out of business because of this.
Yep,
So
I
don't be one
totally
of
agree.
those.
Hey, I wanted to show, since we're talking about packaging today, I'm going to do a quick screen share here.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. Um, so I saw this in Sustainable Packaging News, spnews.com, that Fast Company is taking note, and they gave Graphic Packaging one of the most innovative companies of 2023. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, this is Westrock also has a variation of this as well.
Yeah.
And we're not here to say like whose is better, whose is not. I just thought this was newsworthy that an organization like Fast Company is continuing to note, amongst like OpenAI and Tiffany and Disney and all these other companies that, yeah, this fiber based solution for 6-pack beverage carriers is worth celebrating as innovation.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really neat, that packaging continues, whether it's Ball Corporation or
Hmm.
Footprint. I know they've got their like Footprint is the arena sponsor of the Phoenix Suns, and Ball Corporation is the arena sponsor of the number one seed in the Western Conference with the soon to
Right.
be 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic, the Denver Nuggets. Um, Sorry, did
Not
I?
that you're a fan. No, no.
No, no. I mean,
Maybe he's listening, and we want to
maybe
support.
maybe he's
That's it.
here and listening. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's cool to see packaging be doing this stuff. Like
Yep.
that's the level of importance of packaging, is we're getting noticed in, by Davos and by Fast Company and by,
Hmm.
these sports franchises, and that there's enough revenue coming in that they can say like, no, we're going to talk about our sustainability. We're going to talk about molded fiber, and we're going
Yeah.
to talk about aluminum cans. Like I think that's really cool. So, um,
It's sustainable packaging equals success, right? And I think that's what we need to portray here. I was interviewed by Outside Magazine last week, and I
awesome.
thought to myself, I cannot believe that this magazine has 600,000 subscribers. They care that much about sustainability that they would interview me, and what an honor and what an awesome show of what's happening. You and I have both been asked to go to Europe to speak to the EU about sustainability in packaging. Uh, it's an incredible thing. Evelio's traveling the world, talking about how to make packaging more sustainable and AI. And I think what we're seeing here is a cultural shift. Honestly, I believe
Yep.
that, and I don't want to say that we're the only ones doing this, because there are many, as you can tell by the comments. But uh, so all of you out there working hard towards sustainable packaging, thank you, and keep it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, it's and there's certainly plenty of people who should be interviewed for Inside Magazine because they're doing a lot
Yes.
of the inside work that are all of the
Yes.
stuff that goes on behind the scenes, the packaging engineers, the chemists. Like I'm going tomorrow to the Rad Tech conference in San Diego,
Hmm.
where and that's about UV and E-beam curing technology. Like it's a very
Amazing.
cool niche, and I'm on a panel with like a guy from Pepsi and someone from Sun Chemicals and someone who
Jeez.
deals with regulations about like but
Wow.
when you get all the way down to like how is flexible film or how are flexible films or how are folding cartons, what types of
Yeah.
inks are used so that it can
Digital print.
be
Right. Yeah.
all of that stuff are things that zero other human beings will talk about, but it has a massive impact on their lives.
Yeah.
And so, it's cool to recognize that there's so many people who are doing work on this every single day, not just us yahoos out here on social media.
I think that's a really important point too. It's affecting all consumers eventually.
Yep.
All of these things that we're talking about and that we're taking action towards will have an effect on your uncle and your aunt and your nephew and your niece and grandma, and everybody involved needs to know how these things are going to affect them.
Yep.
And we hope it's very, very positive.
Hey, what did James say down here? I'm curious to see.
All right. James from the UK, recycling and what can be classed as recycled UK versus EU is huge. UK paper with less than 10% polymer, France paper with 40% polymer is one comparison. The UK has the most stringent recycling metrics for packaging. Very
That's
good point.
interesting. Yeah,
Thank you, James.
and I would venture to guess it's going to be similar. If you look at the EU, especially, and I know, James, you could talk about this way more than I can. I know zero about like socio-political things going on over in the EU, right? Other than like, I'm pretty sure that the UK it has Brexited. That's and that
Yeah.
Megan and the other guy who is the prince, Harry. Is it Harry?
Yeah.
That's how much that their people are sad or something. There it is. There's my hot take.
Yeah.
But I know here in the US, like because of our states and like how we give states rights and states power, it does become really messy here as well, right?
Yeah.
Where you've got Maine, you've got Oregon, you've got Colorado, you've got California with all
Right.
their and there's various EPR laws that have been on the books for a while. Um, how do you navigate all that? And then not only if you're just a US based company, but also you're an international company, it's like, oh my gosh, I got to sell into the UK
Right.
versus France versus, and or
It used to
Luxembourg.
just be we used to just be concerned about what languages were on the package. Does it need to be bilingual or trilingual, or if it's going into Asia, all of the other languages. And I think now there are so many more elements to packaging that we need to be concerned about. Everything, like James was saying, the percentage of recycled content or polymers in the paper become it's a legal barrier. You may have your items rejected,
Mhm.
and that can be devastating to companies. Even big companies might not be able to handle something like that.
Yeah, well, especially I would argue that bigger companies that have it that struggle to pivot faster,
Hmm.
um, that there's probably going to be there's inevitably going to be some struggles, right, navigating through all this stuff. And far be it for me to say that I know how to make
Hmm.
that happen, but I would say that between myself and Cory and Evelio and others who are here in the comments, we probably know people who can help you
Right.
out with that. So please, it's fascinating to me how many people reach out to me um, on LinkedIn. And so, like I am not a like I have a full-time job. So if you reach out to me and you say like, "Hey, I need help with this," the chances are I'm going to respond and I'm going to let you know who to go talk to. And I
Right.
hope you just go do that. Right. But I'm not on here looking for, new consulting clients or whatever it is. But, if you need help with project management, I'm going to send you to Megan Young Gamble. Right. Cause
Right.
that's not going to be my jam. If you need help with, spec data, we're going to send you over to spec. Right. If you need help with how to navigate EPR,
Yeah.
probably our new friend, Michelle.
Yeah. Our first silent episode of our podcast.
I know.
Michelle from Lorax. If you don't know Lorax, look them up and look up our friend Michelle. Tell her that we sent you, and she's an amazing person. We interviewed her, and well, we forgot to turn the sound on. So
Sound is not on, but it was a great interview. We're gonna,
the three of us had a wonderful conversation,
yeah,
and
and
we hope to re-record that soon.
indeed. Well, Cory, we're coming up here on the end. I know that you have a lot of things coming up. I was commenting to you that I can't say yes to much more between now and probably sometime in June. So lots of cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Waste Expo in New Orleans. That's May 1st through the 4th. SPC Austin Sustainable Packaging Coalition. We talked about that earlier, and that's Austin, Texas, April 24th through 27th. AICC will both be speaking at in Chicago, May 23rd through 24th. That's going to be a big one for us. I think we'll really have a great time there and talk about all of this stuff live.
It's going to be great. And I am so excited. I'm so excited to meet Kate and is it Jonathan from DIP?
Yeah, Jonathan Asaroff.
Yeah, they'll be there. And Jeb the Boxsmith, who, if you're not following Jeb, he is awesome. He's such a great person. He's like 19, 20 years old. And so he's going to be there. Yeah, that's
he made this sign for me. That's corrugated. That Aurora sign is made out of corrugated, and Jeb made it for me.
Love it.
He's a brilliant artist and makes corrugated weapons and really cool swords and just really awesome.
Yeah, he's great. I will also be, so I'll be at, if anyone's going to be at the TLMI converters meeting next week, I'll be there. Like I mentioned, I'll be at RadTech tomorrow, D-Scoop in St. Louis in May. So I'm going to be speaking at a session there, and then also the AICC event. So let's just prove Chris, who showed up at Westpac, wrong. That I'll let that go eventually. Some point in time, I'll let that go, and then I'll also stop talking about how I was the #1 career podcast in El Salvador for a week. But until that time comes, but I'd love to see anyone out there. If you're going to be at D-Scoop, if you're going to be at TLMI, if you're going to be at the AICC event, I don't think I'm going to be able to make the SPC show, but I'm assuming maybe Michael or somebody from Myers will be down there.
Yeah, I'll be there. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
hope to see you all there. If we do see you there, make sure you stop us and get a picture with us. That was really fun at Pack Expo. We had quite a few people. Hey, I know you guys.
That was fun. Yeah, and what Pack Expo was, Westpac was great. There's a lot of really cool events. I think we got one other question that came in here. We could tie it up that maybe someone can help out our LinkedIn user friend, not Chris. That's not a question. Hugh. It was not. That was a real email.
Thank you, Hugh.
Yeah. So do you have any recommendations for people I can connect with for compostable fruit and produce labels? Thanks. So
send us a message and we'll connect you with a couple people. I've got some ideas there.
Yeah, I can reach out to you as well. So I'll jump in the comments. Please feel free, as this is replaying through. If you have other questions or comments, we try to jump in after it's already been live and answer stuff. So that's a great point.
Yeah. Well, thank you, sir. This has been a great show. Appreciate you. And Evelio, if you're listening, we miss you.
I think since I did the intro, you get to do the outro.
Oh yeah. No.
No? All right, fine.
But we look forward to seeing you next Monday, 7:30, same time, Pacific Standard Time, of course. And can't wait to meet you all in person at these different events that I'm sure as we move along, more and more of you will meet us in person, and that'll be very exciting. Looking forward to it.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you all. Be sustainable.